What's up guys, and in today's video we'll be talking about why Red Dead Redemption 2 failed. Now, I'm not going to be talking about the story much inside this video, mainly because in my opinion the story did not fail, and I actually really did enjoy playing the story more than any other game I've ever played that involved a story concept. So before I get into this video, I want you guys to know that I'm just not going to talk about the story that much. But we're going to talk about the story as the first part of this video, and the first thing I want to talk about is the main protagonist, Arthur Morgan. So first of all, let's talk about his story arc. His story arc is absolutely amazing. Not because he came from bad parents or anything like that, but because the friendship he managed to build with Hosea through his life. And he died pretty young. He died at the age of 36. He did die 2 years younger than John Marston, which John Marston died at 38, I think. And he did die a lot more of honorable death, depending on the story that you play with the character. If you get dishonorable honor, then you just simply get plucked in the head. But if you get dishonorable honor or honorable honor with John Marston, you're gonna get bullets plugged into you, at least 20 bullets. John Marston, though, on the other hand, he never really had that. Okay, this guy's my brother, I don't want him to die. He's always been a bad man, you know, either way. Even if you play Red Dead Redemption 1, he's never done anything too good. It's up to you to do those things that are good. And even then, they aren't really canon because it's not you doing those things that are good. It's just, I mean, it's not John Marston doing those things that are good. It's you doing those things that are good, so it's not canon. Arthur Morgan, though, he does these stuff that are good. You know, he helps people, but Arthur Morgan's genuinely just a better character than John Marston. Not because he's more skillful than John Marston, not because he has more skill than John Marston, I mean. Just because necessarily he's just a better, I guess, I don't know how to say it, but a better character. His personality is much better. He's more of a cowpoke, like my brother likes to say. He's more of a cowboy, and not to mention, he's such a badass. And he's just, I don't know, he's just an amazing character. He doesn't handle any talking shit to. If you talk shit to him, you're gonna end up beside a grave. That's just how it's gonna be. Historic is wonderful. They didn't just make him a stepping stone for John Marston's past. They really made him the main protagonist of this game. So the story, though, it's just beloved. It's good. It's wonderful. The graphics are amazing. The views are amazing, especially the end game fight. I mean, it does really, really, really good. It makes me think about, I don't know, life. It's just a good ending, right? And there's a lot of comedy in here. I'm not gonna put out the comedy points right now because this video will just be 30 minutes long for me talking about the comedy points. But this is, they made this movie. I mean, they made this game into a movie. They really made it into a movie, and it made it feel like a movie. It made it feel like it was real life. And you make a bond with these characters, and when they get brutally murdered, you really do come close to crying, or you do cry. For me, I didn't really cry much, but I was about to tear up when I saw John Marston get brutally murdered. Damn, that shit was fucked up. Now, the good thing about this is you can actually prevent this, and it makes the story so much more better that you can actually choose what happens to you. Inside Red Dead Redemption 1, you can't choose what happens to you. You just get brutally murdered. You can't prevent John Marston's death at all. But in Red Dead Redemption 2, you can prevent it from a brutal way, I guess. And that makes this story so much more better in every way whatsoever. So just knowing that, it made me extremely happy, and the first thing I did was go back to change my honor, and I got the honorable death. And the honorable death was just, it was just so much better, and it made me feel better. I could get a good night's sleep. Literally, I replayed the entire game again just so I can get an honorable death. Just because I couldn't sleep because of the way Arthur died. I mean, that shit was just, I mean, I don't even know what to say. That was really messed up. But you know, at the end of the day, I got back the honorable way, and I died the honorable way. So yeah, that's basically it with the story. But let's talk about some of the characters in the story real quick, because that's what I want to talk about. So first you got Micah Bell. Micah Bell is just this psychopathical person that slaughtered an entire town called Blackwater, and I would like to see a DLC behind that. I'm pretty sure many people will, but Micah's the first one. He's basically Arthur Morgan's arch nemesis throughout the entire 30-hour story. And then you have Dutch Vanderland, which he acts like the leader, and is somewhat of the leader, I guess. But eventually, that all changes once he gets on a train and then the train falls over and he gets a brain injury. We don't know if he got a brain injury, but that's a lot of speculation, and most likely it did happen because Rockstar made it look like they wanted it to look like that. So he probably did get a brain injury, but he obviously was the reason. He obviously was the leader for some reason. So he was the leader. He was kind of a father figure to Arthur Morgan and John Marston, and Arthur Morgan also had a father figure go by the name of Hosea, and Hosea was kind of the co-owner, the co-creator of this Vanderlyn game. Obviously, he wasn't the complete creator of it because at the end of the day, they end up calling it the Vanderlyn game. So yeah. And then you got Bill Williamson, which, in my opinion, is just he's just a hothead. He's just a usage of nothing. He's not good at anything. He's just retarded. And the other guy we have now is Lenny. Lenny's my favorite character inside the game besides Arthur Morgan and John Marston. He had a really good feeling to him. He was just a nice character, and it was really sad to see him die. And Sean. Sean is just, I don't know, Sean just got, yeah, yeah. There's nothing much about him besides he's Conor McGregor, but in 1870 or 1899. And then I think that's about it besides Sadie Adler, which isn't that much of a big character in my opinion because at the end of the day, she goes missing. You never know what happens to her, so her story is over. So even if I did tell you, you guys can play the entire game. There will be guaranteed no other part where you will see her again besides the ending of the epilogue. And yeah, that's basically it. So now that you guys know literally everything about the story mode or the main campaign, let's move over to the epilogue now. Now the confusing part is that he just literally lets Dutch go and Dutch doesn't even try coming back for the money. What? Why does he do that? Literally shoot him. You have your gun in your holster, shoot him.
You okay?
Long story short, to me the epilogue doesn't make much sense. So now let's move on to the reason why Red Dead Redemption failed.
Baby wet.
Alright, so people speculate the reason why Red Dead Redemption 2 failed is because of online. Online is by far the least updated thing Rockstar has ever made in their career that has spanned for 25 years now. They have barely added anything to online, and I'm honestly pissed because I actually really do enjoy playing online with my brothers. It's actually really, 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 really fucking fun. So I just don't get why they don't add more stuff to online. That's the end of the story for that, right? But that's not the only reason why. The reason why Red Dead Redemption 2 failed isn't because of just necessarily online. Online was built good. It was a good thing. When I first got Red Dead Online, I was addicted to the game. There was so much stuff to do. I could buy any horse I want. I mean, there was even horses called red chestnuts inside this game. I mean, it was funny, and I enjoyed the game in general, right? It was good. There was so much stuff you can do. You could buy the bounty hunter role, the trader role, the fucking whatever else there is, the collector role. You could do all these cool stuff. The moonshine role, just all these stuff that you could do, and it was just it was nice. It was wonderful. But once you got all this stuff done and settled, it was kind of redundant playing the game any longer because it's the same thing over and over. And plus, it's so easy to break your stuff. If you get attacked and somebody shoots a dynamite at you, you're gonna lose everything you have in the back of your wagon, no matter what the hell it's made out of. Long story short, they did not add much to Red Dead Redemption Online. It's like they were kind of trying to make it have a dying resource to it. But Red Dead Redemption 1 or Red Dead Redemption 2 story mode kept on having updates, and so did Red Dead Redemption 1 online. Online on Red Dead Redemption 1 had updates, and it still somewhat has updates today. Or I mean, it had updates recently. Like only a couple of years ago, they were still updating Red Dead Redemption 1 online. But Red Dead Redemption 2, they didn't decide to update it at all. At all, they didn't really update it at all. There was no new stuff I saw coming out. The mounts were staying the same. Though they haven't made a new mount for like a couple of weeks now, or a couple of months now. Ever kind of since they released Red Dead Online, there hasn't been a single new melt I've seen, and it's actually really, really, really fun playing online. Rather it's just trolling my brothers or trolling my friends, I just lassoed people all the time, and I would just go around killing people, going on Valentine, beating up people. Me and my brothers will have a quick draw competition. We would fight with our bare hands. It's fun. Um, but the lack of stuff they added to the game made it extremely boring and extremely hard to play the game with a full smile on you because you just really couldn't. It was extremely hard and it was lackluster. They weren't doing nothing to the game. They just let it sit there and perish into existence. I mean, it was a dying game from the beginning, right? Let's be honest, because online was never that game that they're gonna add stuff. They even admitted, I'm pretty sure, on an article. I can't find it now, but I'm pretty sure they admitted it, and they said they weren't gonna add any stuff to Red Dead Redemption 2 for some reason online. I don't know why they said that. I don't know if that's just me hallucinating right there, but I thought they said that. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure they said that like about a year ago or close enough to it. They admitted to not wanting to add that much stuff to Red Dead Redemption 2 because they're so focused on GTA 5. GTA 5 came out 7 years ago. This game has way better potential than GTA 5. Way better potential. Especially to older folks that play this game. They definitely could admit and they could say this game has a ton more potential. Or it did have a ton more potential. If they try updating it now, it's not gonna work. It's already fallen too far into the abyss. People are gonna look into the backstory of this game and see how far it has came to the abyss. But if they were to update it when the game first came out, it kept on adding new stuff like every once a month, that would be remarkable. Now it takes 8, 10 months, or like sometimes a year and a half for them to add something new to the game. Have you guys ever wondered why I'm still a level 89 on the game and I've been playing it for 2 years now? I would have been a level 110. I got so bored of the game that I just stopped playing the game. That's how bored I was of the game. I shouldn't have to get bored of a game that has graphics that are ahead of its time and have insane mechanics for fighting, or in general, just good mechanics. And that's not why I'm bored of the game. That's why I'm fun of the game. That's the reason why I'm fun, or that's why I like the game. That's the reason why I like the game, because of the mechanics and the good mechanics. But every single time I get on the game, like there's a scene right here, I always have bugs, always stuff that are happening. Sometimes they're funny, sometimes they're not funny. I mean, this game is really good. They could just add a couple of stuff to it to make it a little more better, and the game is top of the charm. Long story short, the reason why people hate Red Dead Redemption 2 is because of the online. The story mode is perfect. I still play story mode to this day. Even though I have every single thing inside the game of story mode, I still play Red Dead Redemption story mode. It's just what I do. Until the last day of my life, I will probably still be playing Red Dead story mode. It's just such a good thing, and the map looks so wonderful, and the gameplay is good, and you can antagonize people, you can greet people. I don't think they could ever make a better story mode game than Red Dead Redemption 2. So that's just my opinion, but I think Red Dead Redemption 2 failed because of that reason. Because online is complete dog shit in a sense. And the reason why it's obviously dog shit is because they don't add stuff to it. Otherwise, it's probably one of the best game modes or one of the best online features I've ever played. Besides just the lackluster. Just they don't do much of the game. They don't focus on the game, and that's the reason why it died. So if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, drop a notification on, and yeah, that's it. So peace.
For a fiddle like no one else alive. I trust I will not make a god-awful fool of myself once more, but